plagiarism.
Really, she down.
Hello. Oh, I'm going to mute a little bit because there's a lot of background noise. Okay, so you can unmute if you have something to say. There was just a lot of background noise. So today we're going to be looking at, we're going to continue with plagiarism, and we're looking at quote integration. So how to integrate quotes while you're writing. Okay. So objective participants will be able to integrate and correctly punctuate direct quotes. Just 1 second. Okay, good. Oops. Okay, so let's look at the community guidelines. Once it loads. So we are happy to have everyone here. If you are late or have technical issues, that's okay. And please just join the conversation as you're able to. Who is that? Mute yourself when you are not talking, but please remember to unmute yourself when you do want to talk. We want to be able to hear everyone.
I was absent this morning.
Okay. Please complete the pre-session interactive slides. They're on in the Google Classroom. I send them over email, and they're in the Facebook group and the post-session feedback form. This will help us revise and develop course content. The self-paced slides are just for extra practice, so they aren't for marks, but if you just want extra practice before or after, you can use them for extra practice. If you have questions or technical issues during the session, please send a message in the chat box indicating so, or email us at info@hettgroup.com. So obviously my name is Lisa Vance. I've done some teacher training in Myanmar. I've taught English. I've done environmental education. I will be facilitating the class today, and my co-host is Kathleen. Kathleen, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, my name is Kathleen Grawie. I help Lisa make all the slides for these trainings. I have experience doing teacher training in Mexico, and I currently work as an English and Spanish teacher.
Awesome. Okay, how well can you integrate the quotes? Not at all, a little bit, somewhat, quite well, or extremely well. Show number of fingers if you want to turn your camera on the count of 3, or you can type in the chat box. 1, 2, 3. So how well? Okay, I see 3, I see 2, I see 3. Now I have to open the chat box. Oops. Sometimes my chat box gets a little sticky and doesn't want to open when I'm sharing slides. Just 1 second. A little bit, 3, 2, a little bit. Okay, awesome. Now I'll go back to sharing. What is the difference between a paraphrase and a direct quote? This should be pretty easy for people, but what is the difference between a paraphrase and a direct quote? You can type in the chat box or just let me know. Yep. Paraphrase is rewording the words. Okay. Yes. So yeah, a paraphrase, you reword. We've kind of been talking about what a paraphrase is. A direct quote is you take exactly the exact same wordings. Yeah, paraphrase is using your own words. Okay. And we've already went over kind of what is a paraphrase. So paraphrase is someone else's ideas restated in your own words. Okay. So what do you call it when you use an author's exact words instead of paraphrasing? Kind of, yeah, it just means to quote or direct quote with quotations. Yes. Yeah. And yeah, so to quote means to use the author's exact words. So when you quote, it should make up less than 15% of your paper. So don't just do like I've seen people do this and it's so bad. They got in trouble. No, I don't think they got in trouble, but they got told not to do it, where they will put like a quotation mark and then they'll put like 2 paragraphs and then they'll put another quotation mark. And obviously you can't do that. Your paper can't be all like quotation marks. Only use quotes when the original words are well known. So if they're kind of famous words that maybe a famous person said and everyone's kind of heard them, a famous quote from someone. The original words are creative or impactful. So maybe you just really like how they're worded and you think they have a really strong reaction. And there's no other way to express the idea. Maybe you cannot think of how to reword it, how to paraphrase it. Maybe there's no other way to really paraphrase it. So you want to keep it the same, or you have to keep it the same. Okay, you will see a poll on your screen. Click true or false for each statement. This is a pretty easy one. What is it? Paraphrases are marked with quotation marks. True or false? I'll probably just give you 30 seconds for these because they're pretty easy questions. Okay, it is false. Quotations or quotes. Quotes have quotation marks. Paraphrases do not. Next one, 30 seconds. Direct quotes are marked with quotation marks. True or false? 30 seconds. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, true. Yes, definitely. Okay, 30 seconds. Paraphrases must be cited. So you must have an in-text citation. We talked about in-text citations the last 2 classes. So you must have kind of like the, well, depending how you're citing it, but either a number or the author's name and date, depending which format you're using for citations. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Yes, so paraphrasing has to be cited. Direct quotes must be cited. True or false? Just give you 30 seconds. 27, 28, 29, 30 seconds. Okay, true. So both paraphrasing and direct quotes have to have citations or to be cited. Okay. Paraphrases use an author's exact words. True or false? 30 seconds to answer. Paraphrases use an author's exact words. Okay. False. That is correct. You can make direct quotes 50% of your paper. True or false? Can 50% of your paper be direct quotes? 30 seconds. False. Yeah, only less than 15%. Make things really easy if you could do 50%. Okay. Let's see. 1 or 3 ways to integrate direct quotes into a paper when you are writing. Does anyone know? So you can do a short expression, you can do linking sentences, or you can do a run-in quotation. Yes, short expression. Okay. Which quote integration method is illustrated below? As Merriweather 1940 found, in just over 2 billion years, temperatures will be high enough to evaporate our oceans, making life on Earth impossible. So which one is that? Do you think that's a short expression, a linking sentences, or run-in quotations? Oops, I went too far. Showed you the answer.
Short expression.
Yes, short expression. So let's look. So as Merriweather 1940 found right here.
The next years found.
Let's see. So it's a short expression. So includes a subject and a verb and separates from the quote using a comma. The quote is a complete sentence. So you have the subject, Merriweather, found is the verb.
And comma.
Yeah, and then you have the comma. So I'm just gonna circle it. So you have the subject, you have the verb, and then you have the comma. And the quote is a complete sentence. In just over 2 billion years, temperatures will be high enough to evaporate our oceans, making life on Earth impossible. So it could be, as Vance mentioned, as, oh, I don't know, but okay. Which quote integration method is illustrated below? Infants have over 100 more bones than adults. This extra flexibility helps them pass through the birth canal and allows for rapid growth. Jones 2000, page 17. So which one of the three is this? Is this
Linking sentence.
linking sentences? Good. So a linking sentence is a complete sentence, and it's separate from the quote using a colon. The quote is a complete sentence.
Explain the order.
So infants have over 100 more bones than adults. That is one sentence.
Yes.
Then this extra flexibility helps them pass through the birth canal and also allows for rapid growth. That is another sentence, but they're connected together using a colon. So two sentences connected together using a colon. Yes. One is a direct quote. One is not a direct quote. Okay. Which quote integration method is illustrated below? Tectonic plates are in constant motion propelled by currents in the Earth's upper mantle. Donahue, 2021, page 34.
Run in code. Run in quotation.
Yes, run in quotations, or run in, like you think you're running, it's like running into it. Okay. So it makes one complete sentence, not separated by any punctuation except the quotation mark. So this whole thing is one sentence. So maybe in the original one, it didn't use the word tectonic plates. Maybe it's kind of talks about other things, like talks about tectonic plates, and then it says are in constant motion propelled by currents in the Earth's upper mantle. So you've decided to kind of put it together to maybe shorten part of the description. So you take the tectonic plates and then you add the quote after that to make it one sentence. Okay, so in groups, you have lots of time for this. In groups, you will practice writing quote integration. So use Pear Deck to record your answers. So I'll show you. So here's the link to the Pear Deck. And I'll open it up here. So I'm gonna put it up here. Okay, so quote integration. So it gives you an example on Mint 1997, page number 43. The bridge was built following a traditional balance cantilever method. So think of how you could write that with a short expression, how you can write that with a linking sentence, and how you can write that with a run-in quotation. It might be easier, and then you have another one here, short expression, linking, and then run-in quotation. So work in your, three of them. So I'll give you about 20 minutes to work on those. If you want to maybe take a screenshot, it might help. I don't know of these to help you, but I can kind of flip through them. So remember a short expression. Running quotation. Okay, so I'm going to put you in groups and I'll give you about 20 minutes to work on those. If you have any questions, just ask. Also, actually, maybe what I'll do is I'll give you the link to the slides as well right now. So if you need to look at the different types, you can take a look at the slides. So these are the slides if you want to look at the slides. Okay, let's put everyone into groups. Let's create 3 groups. No, it's not letting me. There we go. Kathleen, would you like to turn the music on, please? Okay, so everyone's answers for the most part look pretty good. I'm just going to quickly show them. Anya found the bridge, blah, blah, 43. I think maybe for this put page 43, like P43, but good. Some bridges were built. The only thing is this should be a full sentence. So some bridges were built isn't a full sentence by itself. So make sure that they're both full sentences using the colon. So this is semicolon, which is correct if it's not a full sentence, but for this it is a full sentence. The bridge was built following, yeah, that would work. Yeah, in 1997, I think you can probably put it that way. I don't know. Kathleen, do you, instead of putting the 1997 in brackets?
It's going to depend on the style guide that you're using. So some will want it in parentheses, but some other styles will say it's okay to separate it like that. So just whenever you do that, double check with your style guide.
Ungman suggested the bridge was built following traditional bounds. The only thing is you're missing the page number at the end. So it should be quotes, page number, then full stop or period. Research has shown how the bridge was built, the bridge was built following traditional bounds cantilever method. Yeah, other than the spelling and method, but it looks good. Yeah, the bridge was built following traditional, yeah, that's fine, I think. As Angmyent 1997 discussed, the bridge was built following a traditional balanced. Well, I think I wrote that one. I was writing, just practicing myself. As Angmyent 1997 stated, yeah, that looks good. People discussed about the disconstruction. Yeah, I think that would be fine. Good. Let's look at the next one. Yeah, so again, maybe use 2014 in brackets or parentheses. So Tintin A stated. Again, make sure you have the page number for that one. I think it's just like a small mistake. It decided that how to design a rocket. Don't know if that fully would count. Well, I think that might be okay. Yeah, just make sure it's a full sentence. It decided how to design, or it is discussed how to design a rocket. Yeah, I think that might be okay. Wait, must all be considered, yeah. Obviously the wording wouldn't be exactly the same in like the real example, because then you would just directly quote the whole thing, but it gets the point across. Yeah, that looks rocket. Oh, that's mine. Yeah, colon, not semicolon. And a full sentence. There are 4 important factors to consider, maybe. I would turn that into a full sentence. And P, then the page number. Yeah, running quotation is done correctly, but in a real example, you would have a different word than the direct quote, or else you would just directly quote the whole thing. Yeah, I think the first one, as today suggested, first one's good. Second one doesn't look like it's quite finished, which is fine. I think I did that one. Page number for the short expression is missing, but looks good. The second one, make sure that the first part is a full sentence. So remember, it's 2 sentences that you're connecting together, or according to scientists, isn't a full sentence. Yeah, I mean, it's again, in a real example, you probably would have, this would be exactly the same. So you would do it as a whole quotation, but if you could think of some other way. Like here, I tried to change it a little bit. It's a bit hard to do that last one. But as new technologies are developed, the study of neurological psychology and neurodevelopment disorders is constantly changing. So think of like how it might be changed in reality. Yeah, same thing, but I think it gets kind of the point across. Neurological problems are as follows. It doesn't quite make sense as a sentence. So just make sure that's a sentence and that it kind of makes sense with what follows. But I understand that it's hard to come up with them. But overall, looks pretty good. Okay, so just to review, when would you choose to use a direct quote instead of a paraphrase? So when you're writing, when do you use a direct quote instead of a paraphrase?
Author idea is outstanding.
Yeah, if it's outstanding, yes. Why else? Oh, now I can't see in the chat, but there we go. Direct speech, yeah, so if it's direct speech, if it's very important, if it's very interesting, something like that, if it's a famous quote, then you might use it. Okay, so how well can you integrate quotes? Not at all, a little bit, somewhat, quite well, or extremely well. So on the count of 3, you can either show it or type in the chat box. 1, 2, 3. So how many fingers are in the chat box? I need to scroll the video. 4. Let me look at the chat box. 3, 4. Yeah, I think this one takes a bit of more practice. Okay. And yes, obviously it also depends on what style guide you're using for your, so you'd have to take a look at the style guide. Okay, so I'm going to send out the feedback form. And I will also email it out, and I'll email out an invitation to join Google Classroom. Next week, we are going to look at EndNote. And you can look at the syllabus. We might make changes to it, but there's a copy of the syllabus in the Google Classroom. And there's some resources. So I'll put these slides on the Google Classroom if you want to access them. And if you want more information, you can take a look at the different resources. So there's lots of resources down here. So you can take a look at them to find out more information. Okay, does anyone have any questions? No questions. Okay, thank you very much, and I will see you next week. Okay, bye-bye. Or in the teacher training one. Bye-bye.
Teacher training. See you, teacher training.
See you there.